Today, the moon is in Aries, and the meditation was centered around giving ourselves permission to chase our dreams and to become. Because I think a lot of what keeps us away from our becoming is waiting for someone to give us permission or give us the stamp of approval that, yes, we are qualified to do a thing, or yes, we are ready. And I feel like truth is, no one's going to do that for you, to be honest. And even if they did, it would still take some internal work for you to believe it. And so, again, no one can really do that for you. No one can really give you permission. And I think in knowing that, it kind of lights a fire under your ass to, get to it. At least that's how I feel right now. That like, you don't have as much time as I guess you think you have to get things done. And not that you need to be in a rush, but I do feel like I'm currently working on my time frame of execution. Of like, I get an idea and I'm not procrastinating and I'm just allowing myself to do it. Yes, I want to be a student. Yes, I want to I always have a hard time with this eye because I'm partially blind in this eye, so whenever I like squint, I gotta like use this eye. I can't see. um, yeah, I think procrastination will keep you in that perpetual state of waiting for permission. Ultimately, and so like if you trust yourself to move, how much can you get done? Because I think a lot of you know are wanting and desiring and dreaming up things stays in our imagination when we are waiting for someone to come along to like give us a stamp of approval that it's time, versus like you actually deciding that like, no, I can do this. I'm equipped. And if I'm not equipped, even being honest with where you fall short so that you can get to it, because I also think that can hinder us too, of not wanting to admit where we are still a student or what we don't know. And I think even trying to like fake the funk and pretend to be something that you're not. Because I do think like you need a certain amount of delusion to go after your goals, but like you can't be like completely delusional in your shortcomings either. That like there has to be some type of a balance in the delulu. But I do think like a healthy amount of delusion is necessary to go after your goals. Because imposter syndrome and not knowing your impact can keep you stuck in a lot of ways. And this is something that I was thinking about yesterday. And like, do you know your impact? Because also, I think that will keep you away from your dreams as well. Because you're not even taking into consideration that you having your dreams also impacts the world, the collective, but especially the people around you. Like, what would that offer the people around you to see you happy and in love with life and at ease and inspired? Like that alone, I think, kind of lights a fire in us as well. Especially, I think, as a mother, and I think about the impact it would have on, especially my daughter, to see her mother accomplish her dreams, to be in a position of impact and living a purpose-filled life, and not just the life that circumstantially I had to have, that like I allowed myself to dream. What does that also offer her, and what does that teach her about not accepting your circumstances as truth? That like circumstances can change based on your belief system, and like, do you actually even believe that it's possible for you to have more, for you to be different? And in today's meditation, I think for a lot of us, we were kind of even struggling to get to the point of admitting what we want, or even knowing what we want, out of a lack of exploring, out of a lack of curiosity. A lot of us also kind of was in the realm of thinking about responsibility too. Of like, if you take responsibility into consideration when you are thinking about your dreams, does that give you the permission you need? Because sometimes, especially as Black women, especially as mothers, we can have a difficult relationship when it comes to, this is not the brush I wanted to use. We have a difficult relationship with responsibility and feeling obligated to things when our dreams, in order to go after your dreams, you do have to have desire as the priority. I don't think you can get to your dreams out of obligation, to be honest. Like, you gotta really want it, because to go after your dreams is hard work. Because if it's not out of desire and it's just out of obligation, I think it's easier to quit, because it is hard. Like, because you are going against the odds. You are going against what's circumstantially true, or what people want to be true, what the world wants us to believe is possible. Which last week in Monday's meditation, or Monday's medicine, that's what I was talking about. Have you given yourself permission to dream? And so I guess this week is like, after you give yourself permission to dream, have you given yourself permission to decide that, like, I can hold this vision in my mind and in my heart, and I can feel it in my body that this is possible. Now, are you giving yourself permission to decide and to act and to become the person who actually has this dream? Which is something I am working with, and I'm being vulnerable about my career, and really taking my healing work serious as a business, and it being the main source of income for me, and for it to enhance and improve my life. And I made a thread yesterday, because I feel like yesterday and today thoughts are all kind of like running together. But I had a thought, like, I cannot afford to be in survival mode. I can't afford to not have an easeful life, to be honest, with the work that I do. That it requires a great deal of emotional regulation, because I am also holding space and regulating others in our process. That, like, if my client is falling apart, my life can't be falling apart too, because I'm not going to be much of service. And so when I think about the impact I want to make in the world, and moving women forward, and helping women come home to themselves, and helping women regulate their nervous system, that it does require me to approach this dream of mine in a way that is sustainable. And I don't think how I've been approaching it has been sustainable for me, because I've been looking at it as like, this is a passion project, or this is something I love, but it's not paying my bills, so I can't like put my all into it. And so now, giving myself permission to decide, it's like, actually, what would that look like? What would it look like for you to really take your desire to help women and to be impactful to a place of real impact, and and opening yourself to even be available to that? What would that look like? And I think right now what that looks like is being more visible, putting myself out there more, which I think over the past like couple weeks I have been doing. So I feel like I'm in the right mind state, or frame of mind with it. But I think I am starting to unlock the part of my brain that really believes that it's possible. Like, I think after last week really opening myself up to possibility and now deciding to act on that possibility is doing something to my brain. And even today's meditation, we did a visualization of ourselves 6 months from now. And I think it was helpful for me to be able to visualize myself fully in it. I knew something was missing. I forgot to contour my nose. I'm doing this backwards. I didn't know how hard it was going to be to do my makeup while recording. Anywho, what was I talking about? Sorry, y'all. I lost my train of thought. Hopefully it'll come back to me. But yeah, so now on, I am in Operation Sacred Kismet and Operation Being Serious and About It. And I do believe in order for you to start taking yourself serious, you have to know the impact of your work. And I think over the last couple of months, I really have been able to see my impact in my own life of like me keeping myself accountable to my own teachings and my own, philosophies has really been, shifting and changing my life, but also to see how it affects the people that I've worked with and the people that I'm in community with, and just seeing the more that I become and evolve, how that continues to flow outwardly. I am missing so many steps in this. I forgot to set my whole face. I should not be on mascara right now. But I think seeing my impact has also made me realize that I don't have room to play small no more. That I need to know my impact so that I can be impactful and not feel no type of way about it, not wanting to like shy away from it, not wanting it to like offend people. Because I do think you need a certain type of arrogance and a certain type of, je ne sais quoi about you in order for you to like really step with what you believe in. Like, you don't really have to be the main one believing it and what you offering and what you selling in order for you to make it a business, to be honest. And I think I've always believed in my work, or else I wouldn't be so passionate about it, or I wouldn't continue to say yes to it. But I have not always believed that I am the one that should be doing it. As in, like, I believe in the healing of women. I believe in the power of women coming together. I believe in the power of healing your subconscious and regulating your nervous system. But I think I've also had a great deal of imposter syndrome of like, who am I to be doing it? Which, I do think it's environmental. Like, if you don't have anybody affirming you in that way, it is going to be hard to believe that there is people who are looking to you for your teachings and your understandings and your guidance. You're going to have to believe it before you want somebody else to believe it. Like, nobody else is going to champion your cause more than you. No one is going to believe that you are worthy of it more than you. And I think that's about our dreams as a whole. That like, you got to be the one to sell it, and not sell it, but you got to be the one to believe in it. I think I'm finally at a space where it's like, yeah, I believe in it. Because I don't feel like it's just in my mind anymore, that I can see the tangible results of it in my life and in the people that I've worked with, that it has, given me the confidence to decide. And I do think this is why you need the environment to thrive in. You do need to be around people who motivate you, who inspire you, who are also, accomplishing their goals or going after their goals, and who can, motivate you in that way. Because if you're around a bunch of people who are just okay with their circumstances and not really doing anything about it, they're going to make you feel crazy for going after yours. What else did I not do? But you know what also I think comes with giving yourself permission to decide and to really move in the direction of your desire is also giving yourself permission to fail, giving yourself permission to not be perfect at it, giving yourself permission to fall and stumble and trust that you will recover, because you will. And I do think that has lended to my confidence now, because I do feel like even if, it doesn't work out the way that I feel like it should, or it doesn't go as planned, I do trust myself to recover. And I do think that is helpful, because I think the journey to really accomplishing your goals and dreams and getting into your desires requires flexibility. It requires you to be like water. Because I think we have the vision for the destination, the end goal, but we have no clue how we're going to get there. And I don't believe it is our responsibility to figure out how we are going to get there. I think it is to make a decision every day to be in the mindset and in the identity of the person we are set to become, and that's how we get there. Like the steps to get there come day by day, moment by moment. And that's why it takes for you to be able to decide, to be able to command your energy. Like today's meditation was centered around your solar plexus, of like really giving your direction and your attention to your goals. And with that, sometimes what we think is the correct path is, not always what would best serve us and would align with what we say we want. We think we are great at, planning things, but, God always has a better plan. And that's where believing in the unseen, believing in a higher power comes in. And I do believe that our heart's desires are placed by God, that there is a divine source that wants us to have these things. That's why we want it. But we just know that we want it. God has the, map on how to get there. But I think being present, being intentional, holding the vision, and being open to a pivot here and there, being open to direction is what helps us reach it. But in the process is not always easy. It hardly ever is, actually. And so, do I want to wear a ponytail today? I did, but I don't like the way that looks. That's better. I'll have to fix that. The process in getting there never looks how we thought it would. So I do believe holding the vision for what we want and what we want to feel, while releasing and being detached for the how, is necessary. I gotta go do my edges, and I think it's time for me to clock into work. So I will leave y'all with that. That once you give yourself permission to dream, give yourself permission to decide, give yourself permission to walk in the identity of the person who already has that dream, give yourself permission to take action.